When we build a company, we want to build something that's sustainable and something that's meaningful to the people that are running it. If you're a busy roofing company owner that needs help building processes, systems, culture, and teams, email me at jessica@igniteresults.net.
Two.
Hey guys, welcome to the weekly Contractor Show. My name is Armando J. Cox. I am a roofing company owner and now emerging content creator. So I'm really excited to share this show with you. Stay tuned for a really cool things that we have going on. We have Kim Reed, we have Brad Gardner, we have news. Is Amazon taking over the supply industry or what? Stay tuned.
As soon as we can, and we're back to Armando. You're up, bud. You're live.
Oh, okay. So I'm live. This is pretty crazy to be live right now on the show, and so I'm going to kind of go ahead and pull up some of my notes here to kind of get this thing started because today I did just kind of want to. So I want to kind of tell you guys about the show, The Weekly Contractor, and kind of why I got it going. And so, one of the reasons I got it going is because there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of really good content out there. And I'm a follower of most of it, really. And so as a follower, most of the content, watching the roofing industry, like being online, I've noticed that, there's kind of like, there's not a lot of like entertainment necessarily in the roofing industry content. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to the table, with some entertainment, something that's a little different, something that you can kind of watch on a Friday afternoon and just kind of like, blow off some steam before the weekend, and maybe learn a few things about like material pricing, some industry events, and also like listen to some people in the roofing industry who are like emerging influencers and other kinds of things like that. So that is what this show is about. And so, to kind of get it started, I do want to discuss a little bit about material prices, and so we are kind of lining up some guests. I really want to line up some guests about who are subject matter experts in material pricing, because there's some really crazy things going on. I mean, recently I did a roof for a customer, and we had to do a redeck only on half of the roof. It was kind of a smaller roof, and we initially quoted somewhere around like $1,200 for to do that redeck, and then it went up to it doubled. It doubled in like a week, literally. Like we were about to lose like $1,200 if we didn't kind of tell them that we had to increase the price. So, I mean, that was kind of shocking to me. Another thing that happened recently was we were doing a deck, like a whole deck job for a customer. And, we had given them a price of, I want to say like 11,000 or so was the price of the job. And then I want to say like 4 months went by. We're starting the deck next week, and the price jumped to 16,000, for the materials only. So, I mean, that's a huge jump, like from 11,000 to 16,000 in, a few 4 months or so. So that's pretty nuts. And, it really makes me wonder about what's going on with materials right now. And so, there was a rumor that Amazon had bought Owens Corning, and I think it's just a rumor, though. I don't really think that's really going on, because we scoured the internet looking for it, and we did not see any kind of evidence that there was that Jeff Bezos or Amazon had bought Owens Corning. So I'd be really curious to see some information about that. That does kind of bring up some interesting things, though, about materials and like the future of material pricing, which is, will it eventually go to Amazon? Will people be buying materials from Amazon? And will they be sort of like, just go on Amazon to buy your materials and drop ship it to the house where you're doing the job? I mean, I don't think that's a real far-fetched idea. And I actually have done it before. I've bought like certain underlayment. One time I bought some underlayment from there. I bought silicone. We were looking for this silicone called Solar Seal. And we bought like boxes of silicone from Amazon and got it delivered to our office. It wasn't Amazon Prime, but it was still Amazon. So we, so I think there's a really, a possibility that Amazon could get into the material pricing or into the material delivery like industry, and that could definitely cause a huge disruption in materials. I think one thing that's really interesting right now is like with supply and demand as well, is that like the supply of materials is very low, because they did the roofing industry in America did over 150 million squares of roofing last year, according to some numbers that we found on the internet. 150 million squares of roofing in 2020. 2021, it took a huge dip. And so with that huge dip, with the huge, like the decrease in demand, there was a huge decrease in production. So suppliers or manufacturers quit like manufacturing the supply, and then they and then the demand started rising. So at this point, there's like a giant demand for materials, and especially shingles, and the supply is relatively low. So like if I don't like the pricing from one supplier, it really doesn't matter, because that supplier can sell those materials to a lot of other people who have a demand for it. So it's really causing some very interesting dynamics in terms of pricing and just increasing the prices in general. And a lot of people know that, a lot of people who work with pricing and buying kind of know that the demand is so high, they can keep increasing the prices. So that's kind of an interesting thing too, you could consider. So let's kind of see here. Have a couple other things that we're going to talk about as far as material pricing and buying supplies on Amazon. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And right now we are going to cut to our first advertiser, and that's going to be the Commercial Roofing Academy. Let's talk about just, if you guys are trying to get into commercial roofing, I really suggest that you reach out to Kim Reed, Kaylee McIntosh, because that class is going to be extremely valuable to anyone who's like really looking to get into it. I know them on a personal level, as you all know. Kim's actually going to be on the show here fairly soon, and we're going to talk a little bit about Commercial Roofing Academy. They're over at the CRA right now, and but we're going to, I think we're going to, just give them a call and find out more, especially if you're on the fence. So I look forward to when you guys get back, and let's cut to the commercial. Okay, guys, I want to just show you a graph here for what's lumber has been doing. This is kind of this is a crazy looking graph, guys. Like, is the graph up yet?
The graph is up.
Okay, so if you look here at the graph on, back in, this goes all the way back to 1979, and it comes all the way up to 2021, and you can see the numbers have gone up in the last 18 months, 261% for OSB roofing or OSB lumber. So 261% increase since the last 18 months. So I'm really kind of like curious. That's why I want to get like a material supply sort of expert to help explain kind of what's going on there. The best we can find right now is that the whole supply and demand thing is kind of what's happening. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting graph there, and let's cut to the what are we going to cut to? All right.
What do you think about the price of lumber? What do you think about the price of lumber, Armando? Do you think it's going to plateau out, or do you think it's going to keep rising?
So, guys, I want to know, from you too. Like, what do you guys think about the price of lumber? I mean, do you think it's going to start plateauing? Do you think it's going to come back down? Do you think it's going to just keep going up? Like, how far could this thing go? I mean, this is kind of insane at how high it is right now. I hear it's going to come back. Rumor on the street is that it's going to come back down, but no one really knows. So, yeah, I think that it is going to plateau here very soon. I think it's going to come back down. But I do also want to cut to another advertiser that we have, another sponsor we have, so we can kind of get Kim on the phone here, because she's going to be jumping on the phone here any minute. And let's cut to Get the Referral. If you guys haven't heard about Get the Referral, we're going to talk some more about that.
You actually got a comment real fast. You want to jump on your first comment?
Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So Annie J. Cox says it's going to come back. Do you feel like you agree? You do agree with that?
Yeah, I do think I do think it's going to come back, actually. I think it's going to come back down. Yes, I do think lumber. I mean, I remember when plywood, this is weird because like maybe 6 months ago, plywood, OSB was maybe at like $15 a sheet. And now it's at literally like $70 a sheet. I mean, that's insane, right? Hey, there goes Dima. Yes, let's get you to call in. 6 months ago. Plywood, you off of there. Yeah, let's reply to Dima if we can. I can't do it on my end. So let's give him the number to the Media Lab.
So do you want to just send it to a commercial for us, and we'll go to Be Right Back while we set up some of this real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. I want to get...
Thank you, guys. We're going to cut to commercial real quick for, let's say, Get the Referral. And then we'll be right back.
Good, good. How is the CRA? Are you guys having a good day out there?
It was amazing. We went out there to raise awareness for roofers in recovery, and we were able to speak to, oh my gosh, probably, I don't know, over 100 people. It was incredible.
Looked like
Super
there was a lot
hot,
of
but
people going up to the booth and stuff, you know?
yes, it was pretty crowded. And yeah, we gave everybody shirts. And again, it was just really important for us to raise that awareness. It was amazing because so many people still don't know about us. And it was nice because these are Colorado people, right? And we're based out of here, even though we do this nationwide. So it was really super cool. Met a lot of really nice people. A lot of people really like what we're doing. A lot of people are hopping on our Tuesday meetings. I think we got 15 new people to join Roofers in Recovery for the meetings that we do. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely a productive day.
You know, it's kind of interesting how like the way that recovery is kind of like evolved, because these days it's not even really as taboo as it used to be. I mean, back in the day, if you shared that you had a drinking problem or well, drug problem is probably still a little more taboo, but like a drinking problem, you could really get ostracized from your community, you know? And like these days, it's like, man, it's like one of the first things I share with people, like I'm in recovery from alcoholism. And it's like,
Yeah,
you know, no one really looks at it badly.
no, and it's so wild because I'm even finding that out too. Just having some of the people come up to the booth today and tell stories was, they want it. People want to talk about it, and it's so bad right now because of COVID, because of just life in general. There's such a need for a platform like this across the board. So it's nice that people are. It's not such a secret thing anymore. It's nice that we are able to have a platform to put out there for people, and we're expanding. I'm going to be starting another nonprofit in other industries, which is wonderful. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Paul and Eric and Jonathan will remain in, the Roofers in Recovery, and they're the ones who started that. I ran it from behind the scenes, but I am going to jump off, let them have it, and just kind of build on doing another one outside of this industry.
That's really cool. And, you know, we plan to have more sort of stories of recovery on the Weekly Contractor because, I think one of the problems with the industry, as you and I have talked about before, is, drugs and alcohol, and
right.
It's, there's a lot of sort of victims that fall to, to that. And there's a lot of people who, families, get destroyed and businesses get destroyed and, so many bad things that happen through that. And it's like really great to know that there's like a resource in the roofing industry that people can kind of contact, and like get some help with it from people who really care. It's really awesome.
Yeah, thanks. I enjoy it, and being able to talk to people and make a difference. That's what we are here to do. We're blessed with successful businesses, so this is our way to give back, and I'm just very passionate about it. So it's very cool.
Yeah. So Kim, let's talk a little bit about like the host and co-host thing. And I just kind of want people to know that like, you were on my podcast like years ago, a little over a year ago, year and a half ago or so.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And like, we got along really well. And I kind of got to know you and Paul a little bit better than before. And it was like, just amazing, and I always looked up to you and Paul because, ever since when the storm kind of started and you guys were, some of the sort of founding really members of that in a sense, I always kind of looked up to you guys a lot. So it was really cool to have you on the podcast and then like talk about things. And then I just really got, this idea that you and I should do a show together. And, we've kind of talked about that. And so that's when I reached out to you. And I think it's important for people to kind of know that like, I was, if you have an idea, and you've talked about this too, is you really should act, you should act on something that you feel, passionate about and strongly about, because you will end up regretting it the rest of your life if you don't.
Well, and that's the problem with so many people. People have ideas, and for some reason they're scared to move on it. And listen, I reinvent myself every year. Like I have, seriously, I have 7 different businesses. They're not all within the industry because I'm the type of person who, if I have an idea, I'm going to act on it. I'm going to jump on it. If you're passionate, it's going to work. You're going to find a way to make it work. So So yeah, I mean, you with this podcast, it was so fun to sit with you, and I love what you're doing. I love that your passion is in the media area and in this podcast thing, and the fact that I was able to work with you. Like right now, you're kind of doing this off. Like I'm not going to be on camera with you anymore. I have my hands full, 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 but I will be honored to be joining you. Just to kind of throw my 2 cents in when you bring me on every week, which is super cool to me. But what you're doing is huge, and your passion is going to shine, and everybody's going to see that you're really good at what you do.
Thanks, Kim. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I'm very passionate about creating content. Like, and I really have been since I was young, you know, even just a little kid. And I always I loved being in front of camera, taking photos, and, you know, and even tried to get into doing videos when YouTube first came out, but I just kind of didn't have the skill set. So now that we have more resources and skill set, it's a little more accessible. Although it's still really tough to make content, you know, it's
yes,
especially
and no,
live
you're
stream,
doing
you know.
the right thing. I mean, you've got a great team, and as far as the content, it's just going to happen. You have a lot of people who want to collaborate with you and be on your show. It's going to come, and again, your passion is going to shine, and it's going to evolve, and it's going to happen. I mean, even what you've done since I was on the show with you, from the studio to what you're doing now, I think this is great because now it's more relaxed, and you've opened up the door to bring so many more people on. So it's just going to get better from here. So I'm excited to sit back and watch you. Literally, it's going to be super cool.
Thank you, Kim. So yeah, I wanted people to know that like I was like looking for a co-host, but I couldn't get that idea of having you as the co-host. So I reached out.
Let's go ahead and take a quick little break while we're having a little camera issue over here. So hold on, everybody. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, Kim, let's hang on the line for one moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Come here, Fatty. No, I totally agree. And I think it just worked out the way it was supposed to, literally. I mean, our first one, we killed it. And then, I just got so, we're both very headstrong. And so we had expectations, and then there's always technical difficulties. And so I think you kind of sat back and look at the whole big picture and said, you know what, maybe I need to reevaluate how I'm doing this. And so here we are, and I think it's great because it's a big learning curve, right? And at least I was able to be part of something. I mean, I can't thank you enough for like bringing me in and wanting me to be part of it. And again, I'll always be here. I will always be part of it, and I will always be your biggest fan, because I was there from the get-go. But I see you really doing something huge with it, and when you actually go live, like you're doing now, but in a studio, when it evolves, it's going to be incredible. And I would be honored to be able to come back when that day comes.
I really appreciate you saying that. That's like,
well, no, I see it. And listen, I'm a lot older than you, so I can sit back and go, you know what, this is cool. Like, this is real. Like, I watched you and Joseph Hughes the other day, and you're fun. You have that. You don't need somebody like trying to be super structured right now because you're trying to figure it out. So this is your time to do that and shine. So back to the passionate thing, when you have something on your mind and you have a business idea, if you keep thinking about it, there's no reason you can't jump off and do it. Like I've got a couple
Yeah.
other businesses I'm going to start right now. So
Nice.
that's the biggest thing that I want to tell people. Like, don't stay where you're at. You should always be growing and jumping into things that make you happy. It's not about the money. It's about your livelihood.
Well, there's certain ideas, and I have a lot of ideas too. And there's certain ideas that are lasting, and like I kind of like to, when I have an idea that I'm really passionate about, I kind of do let it like sit for a bit and let it kind of like simmer. And then if it continues and it's keeping me going, and it's a lasting idea, then I will start to really pursue it, and that's kind of what happened with creating content. I kind of was doing it for my roofing company, and it kind of continued. And now it's to the point where, I just want to be a content creator, and I want to like get my message, not only my message, but everybody's message out there, and create some like entertainment for the roofing industry. That's not strictly like about, education and like sales. And that's not like about
doing right. No, you're in a good space, and I feel it. This is your passion. And I think that by doing this platform and putting yourself out there are so many companies that can benefit with getting on your show and having the Media Lab come in and, do content for them. And you're just going to evolve, and it's going to help them, and it's just going to get better and better. And that's what you set out to do. And that, I think, you're more passionate about than your roofing company. So, you know what I mean?
Well,
I
do. I hear you. And I've been doing roofing for 10 years, and so,
yeah.
I definitely,
this is
I
a
love
tough industry.
It's a tough industry. Yeah. And I do love my roofing company, my team, and I definitely am there for them. But, I'm, again, very passionate about this. So just kind of clear things up then so we just kind of want people to know that, Kim, you won't be the co-host moving forward on a weekly basis. Like we won't be like next to each other. You'll still be an active part of the show. You're still going to be, Next Gen is one of the sponsors of the show.
Yep.
We have also Commercial Roofing Academy. We also have Roofers in Recovery as one of the sponsors. So, you are definitely going to be a part of the show, an active part, because I want to call in, and go live with you when you're out doing really cool stuff and like find out what's going on. In a sense, I kind of want to see if you might be like a correspondent for the show and like tell us what's going on out there in the industry,
Right.
That seems like it'd be fun.
I am, and I love that. And I'll definitely pop in. And there's so many other people that can fill you into. And I definitely want to be on every week, and I'll give my perspective from, what I have going on in my little world. But I am jumping outside of the industry for a little while. It's very wearing to be in it for so long, and just all the craziness. And don't get me wrong, I love it, and I love making a difference. But at the end of the day, I have to find some stuff for me. And I've got my real estate license. I've got other things going on. So
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of shift my focus there for a little bit, keep everything else we have going on. But my husband's the one who, this is his industry. He can stay there. I just kind of want to shine on the outside in some other things. So yes, I will stay in touch with you. I will keep, you'll see me around, obviously, with all of our companies, and I'll pop on with you once a week and kind of fill you in. And I'm going to be watching 24/7. So
that sounds
again,
great.
thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate
So Kim,
it.
just to kind of finish up our call in, what should we expect? Like so you were mentioning the audience is you're people that are kind of like, well, Kim, what's going on? So you're going, you won't be a host here, co-host. You're going to be part of the show. Yep. And then are you going to be moving on and doing some other kind of like content? Should we be following you for something to expect?
Not just yet. I've got some things I'm working on. There's, obviously follow Commercial Roofing Academy and Next Gen.
Yeah.
And, that, we're really passionate about. I'm hiring some other teachers, and we have a lot going on with that. As far as me, I'm just, I'm putting things together and putting new businesses together because that's what I enjoy. And then I'm out here just, I want to be part of this to kind of fill in where I can.
Yeah.
But my passion is starting companies and helping people get successful and moving on. And that's what I'm best at.
Awesome. So, well, everybody will keep following you as well. And I really appreciate all the kind words. I really appreciate working with you like so closely. The last few weeks we've been working really closely together, and it's been awesome. It's been inspiring. You've really like inspired me a lot. So,
thank you. And I just think I'm so proud of you to watch what you're doing, and it's really neat because you guys are going to do big things. I feel it. I see it. And that's neat to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. So we're gonna let you go. Have a great,
Okay.
wonderful weekend. Enjoy.
Thanks, you too.
If you could, if you don't mind sharing the stream when you get a second during the
I
weekend.
will totally share it as soon as we get off. I will go find it and
Appreciate
I will
it.
put it on my page.
Thank you, Kim. All right, we'll talk
All
to you
right,
soon.
darling.
All right.
All right, you guys take care. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Hey, guys. So that was Kim Reed. That was a really cool call there, and we will be right back.
Yep.
Dima, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's Armando. It's nice to meet you.
When we build a company, we want to build something that's sustainable and that's something that's meaningful to the people that are running it. If you're a busy roofing company owner that needs help building processes, systems, culture, and teams, email me at jessica@igniteresults.net.
And we are back, guys. Thank you for continuing to watch. We really appreciate your support, your participation in this. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Definitely comment, because we are going to comment right back. All right. So we want to know what's on your mind. We want to know, do you have any questions about what we're talking about? We want to know, what's going on. I'm actually going to tag a few friends. Let's tag Justin Dant. Let's tag Justin, if you're watching. We're going to tag you right now. Let's tag Joseph Hughes. And now let's get Dima on the phone. So Dima, you're live on the air. Welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Armando. Thank you. I met you 2 days ago on the live stream.
Yes,
So,
that's right. We were on Joe Hughes live stream. Yep.
Yeah. I like what you're doing from what I'm seeing. This is your first video podcast, is that right?
No, that's a good question. We did our first test about 3 weeks ago with Kim as the co-host. And then we did another actual live stream with Kim as the co-host again. And it was hard, man. I don't know if you've ever gone live before, with a full sort of production type set. And dude, it's technical, man. It's pretty challenging. So we had some technical issues and, quite a few issues. It was really hard. And so we then we did another episode that was recorded this time. Instead of going live, we recorded it, and then we kind of posted it live on Facebook. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but even just doing a recording and posting it as a live is very technical as well. You need a stream key, you need some other things, the software and whatnot, the right software to be interacting. So we had some issues with that too. So it was just kind of, I felt bad, man, cause Kim, was kind of ready and working really hard on it and stuff. So I was like, Tim, can give us a little time to kind of get this sorted out. She was really cool about it. So she's not gonna be the co-host, but we're going to continue with the show. I mean, the show must go on. I mean, would you agree?
That is so cool. Yeah, the setup. I love the setup. Everything is super professional. I got the soundproof booth and stuff. So
Yeah, we have.
yeah.
So So you and I haven't really talked much, but I mean, I've heard about you. You're an SEO guy, right? Where are you from? Where are you based out of?
Well, I live in Spokane, Washington. Um, I moved back maybe 13 years ago from Ukraine. That's my native country. And yeah, I have an SEO agency. We specialize in SEO, and we love to work with roofers. Actually, we rebranded over a year ago, and we only work with roofers now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's my specialty, SEO. I've been doing
Okay.
this for over 5 years, but really passionate about helping contractors break free from having to pay to Google, having to pay to Facebook, and being able to have that control and that freedom in their hands. I'm not against paid advertisement; it has its own place,
Mhm.
but to really have that future, to have that ability to control your company and grow it, that's something I'm passionate about, to help contractors with that. And that's what SEO is really about. It's having that freedom, having that control, without having to depend just on, kind of ATM approach to lead generation, to
Yeah.
business growth.
Well, I wonder if anyone in the comments, someone out there wants to call in. We can get have some questions of SEO with Dima right now live. Feel free to call us. I mean, see what our audience has to say about what's going on. But yeah. So where are you from originally, Dima?
Originally from Ukraine.
Okay.
Country of Ukraine. We moved here in 2007. I was 17, and I got into many different things. Had to go to work right away. I didn't have much time to chill around, and didn't have those options. Had to go straight to work, learn English, and basically became a dental lab technician. That was my specialty. That's something I trained for. I was a manager at one of the busiest dental offices in U.S., primarily focusing on like dentures and stuff like that. But at some point, I wanted to have my own business, and looking at different options and seeing what's going to be long term. That was SEO was what stood out to me, because Google was only gaining ground, and it was getting stronger and stronger. And most people would, instead of going to newspapers, to anywhere else, they would first of all turn to Google to find solutions, to find answers. And
Yeah.
in essence, whether you like it or not, Google turned into like a functional savior for a lot of people in terms of getting all the answers. Going to and you have some symptoms, you Google. You have a headache, you go Google. You don't know how to cook pancakes, you go Google. You need a roofer, you go Google. And now basically just trying to help businesses to grow, using Google, using it in a smart way.
Well, Google's become sort of the supercomputer, is a sort of a supercomputer, really, in a sense, that the entire world is using, and is connecting really the entire world, and who would have ever thought that, a supercomputer like that could even exist? Like, you don't even really need an encyclopedia. You don't need a dictionary anymore. People probably don't even know what encyclopedias are, like younger people, right. Even my kid, who is, 6 years old, it tells me, hey, just Google that, and my little 3-year-old even the other day said Google. It's like one of his first words. I mean, it's like these kids are just learning Google, and it's truly the supercomputer of our time. And it's pretty amazing. And it's pretty amazing we can leverage it to our advantage as roofers, if we do it right, because I spent money on SEO and wasn't doing jack for me, unfortunately, as a roofer. And so we ended up sort of taking it in house, and, we've been able to rank pretty well on Google now, with some paid ads and stuff that as well. But yeah, it's been an enormous challenge, but I think it's important for roofers especially, I mean, yeah, you're running your roofing company, but man, you're going to have to make time to learn about SEO and to learn about ranking and to learn about your, you know, your quality score. I bet there's guys out there like, what's a quality score, you know? And that's something that you really should know as any kind of a business owner, period. You really should know what your quality score is. And, you know, and you need to know about what your headliners are and what are effective headliners. What are the top keyword searches in your industry? And, you know, a lot of guys just are, you know, just get kind of too busy for that, I think. And also, which is probably good, but I think also there's might not be enough interest in it. And you know, but I bet all that the kind of stuff I just talked about really gets you going, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, to me, Google is a tool, because in the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it's here. You know, it's here to stay. So, you know, when back like 15 years ago, when internet was gaining popularity, a lot of businesses have ignored that. You know, a lot of businesses are like, nah, it's just a fad. You know, we're just going to stick with traditional advertisement, with mailers, with newspapers, with radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And soon enough, these businesses, they went out of business. You know, they shut down because Google took over, and they were not prepared for that. And brand new rookie companies took their space.
Yeah.
Took all the business from them because they were able to adapt. And that's the situation here, where Google is, it's too powerful in reality. The truth is, it's too powerful. It's a monopoly.
Yeah.
And even on top of that, it's a for-profit monopoly. Let's be clear about that as well. You know, they're not there not to make money. So what can you do with it? You cannot ignore it. You cannot pretend it's not there. But what can you do with it? And SEO is a way to kind of, you know, get a way for you to be on Google, but without having to depend on Google and pay Google, monetarily depend on Google, but have that control in your hands.
Yeah. Dima, we're out of time. We're going to let you go here, but we have another caller coming on here, Bradley Gardner. So Bradley was kicked out of a roofing group recently. And, you know, he wants to share a little bit about the consequences of kind of getting kicked out of a roofing group. I also was kicked out of a roofing group, you know, personally as well for, you know, posting some content that I've since apologized for. And so, but, you know, nevertheless, I was still kicked out, and, you know, Bradley and I are going to sort of talk a little bit about that. So keep watching, Dima. It's great to have you on the show, and we will be in touch. All right.
Thank you, Armando. Thanks for having me.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Waste my time. Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier. Waste my time. Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier.
And we're back. What's up, guys? We are live streaming from my podcast studio in Denver, Colorado, where I have basically sort of like taking the podcast to the next level, which is live stream. I was turned on to live stream by a producer that we have named Tyler. So I want to like thank Tyler for being a part of this show, because he has been extremely helpful. And he got me streaming on Twitch a while ago.
Ah, shucks. Thank you.
And I love streaming on Twitch so much. I was like, can we like do this with my podcast and stream like everywhere? And he was like, yes, we can do that. And I was like, man, let's do it. So we kind of started to get it going. And so, so yeah, here we are streaming live from the podcast studio. And right now we're going to kind of go to the next segment. I like to call it like an internet fun. So like we, you know, Facebook groups and, you know, all the groups out there are really popular in the roofing industry, and, you know, everybody's on them and everybody's like, you know, posting all the time. And I actually got in trouble with a roofing group, you know, a few months ago, and I posted some content that people didn't like, which I've since apologized for posting. And it was, a model on a rooftop and, just messing with some champagne. So I've since apologized for that. We've taken all of that down. That is completely over. We're starting over. And, but it still got me kicked out of a roofing group, And so, and there's consequences to that, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about in this segment is getting kicked out of roofing groups. And I have a friend of mine, a friend and a patron actually of the Media Lab. We've made a video for you, Bradley. So Bradley, thank you for calling in. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Living a dream, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for coming on the show. It is really great to have you. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. You are just, such a helpful guy, man. And you've been, there's so many people that really, love to hear what you have to say. And so many people that including me, man, I kind of look up to what you're doing, especially with hometown
Sure.
franchising, man. Yeah. I mean, I thought about franchising Foothills and then I was like, no thanks, because it's a crazy amount of work, man. And so I kind of went,
it's been a crazy little puzzle to put together, and still being put together. I guess that's kind of with any venture. I can remember starting a roofing company and then I thought it was just going to be, hey, we'll go out here and sell these roofs. And then, everything from marketing to taxes to, I mean, there's just so many variables that you can't see going in anytime you start a business. And that's been a crazy one, next level thing that I started this thing knowing nothing about franchising. And I've come a long way from when we started it, and we're continuing to go forward with it. So I've enjoyed it.
I'm sure you've had quite a few obstacles to overcome and continue to overcoming, as we do as content creators as well. And so, I think it's really cool. And I think, we want to get you on the show because, without getting too specific, I mean, we all kind of know you were kicked out of a roofing group recently, and and I was too, like I just kind of mentioned. And so here we are, two guys talking who got kicked out of Facebook roofing groups, and it's not a good feeling, right? How did you feel when you got kicked out of it?
Well, I spend a lot of my time in Facebook groups. See, I spend very little time on Facebook. I'm not one of those guys. 90% of my day is out here, running companies. And so when I get on these groups, it's genuinely just to help and provide. I mean, it was these groups where I learned stuff that I didn't know that helped me go forward. And I try to do that with other folks. And I really was kind of taken sideways from that particular group kicking me out because I feel like I've tried to go out there and help contractors whenever they have questions or whenever something comes up. And the particular situation was, there was a guy that's like an adjuster. I don't even think it was a real profile. It was like a troll profile, and he was in there bashing contractors, calling us all frauds. And I stood up. I mean, I didn't give any cuss words or anything, which I typically don't online, at all. I don't really speak like that anyway, but I just kind of shot it down, when I, defending contractors.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I'm banned, it's just kind of messed up. And, that's kind of what we're talking about,
Did you I remember when I got banned and did you, I remember trying to get back onto the group and comment or post about what was going on, and I couldn't get back in. I was like, wait, what just happened? I was like, whoa, I got kicked out of this group. This is so weird. Is that kind of what you went through?
Well, I reached out to the administrator that banned me, and which I don't know. I know the other two, but I don't know the one that banned me. And I reached out to him and asked him why, and he kind of brushed it off and said he wasn't going to explain that on a Sunday. And I was like, well, if you're going to, silence a man, if one man's going to silence another man, I don't care what day of the week it is, you need to be able to explain yourself, and he didn't like that. And that probably wasn't the right approach to take, but it kind of speaks to it a little bit. I'm a big fan of the community, and the common conscience of the group is what should constitute what's being said, right? So if there's something that's wrong, then the group will handle that. And if there's something that's right, then the group will lift it up. And that's kind of how things go. When you got somebody that kind of takes the dictator role and says, well, we're not going to say this or we're not going to do that. And, you know, that kind of, it kind of goes against my core values altogether. You know, I'm not a fan of that approach to things. That's a sketchy road to walk down in itself. So
yeah, I mean, it was, so it brings up sort of like issues of control, right? And it brings up topics of control and topics of censorship, you know, and it brings up, I think, like, you know, like someone's voice is like, you're like, you know, like decreasing someone's voice, right? You're like, what, just you know, like taking your voice away. It's like like getting your voice taken away.
Two sides to that, right? There's the taking of the voice away kind of thing, the silencing. And then there's also like the compelling you to say it this way. So there's other groups out there that will say, you know, without getting too specific, there's a labor searching group out there. And the owner of that group, every time, literally every post that someone makes looking for labor, he'll go in there and tell them, edit your post to say this, edit your post to say that. It's like, no. You know what I mean? It's aggravating, you know, and it makes it to where I don't get involved in that group at all, really. So it's like, it's not just about like the taking of the voice. It's also like the compelled speech thing. And this translates into, you know, I mean, you could take this conversation even much deeper past our little roofing groups and go into, you know, the way things are working today.
I know,
you know, what
man.
pronouns do you use, and you shall use this, or be, you know, that kind of stuff can go even further than that. But just on the roofing side of things, I mean, we've got a small community compared to the country here, and I don't think that anybody has the right to be jumping in and telling people what or how to say or what not to say. That's just not really, it's not really right. Now, you know, what if they do, what's their reason, right? So it's like, there's obviously got to be some motivation outside of, you know, just maybe pure control, you know, and that's what I've kind of wondered is, why would you want to narrate or control the narrative in a group? Why not have the group go out and be the narrative?
Well, one thing I liked what you did with it, man, is you kind of really, you know, and I think as a successful guy and as, you know, people who are successful, you know, we kind of like took something that was bad and, you know, did something good with it, you know? So you like went and started your own group, you know, and you lump sum contractor, which is a great title. I love the title. And thanks. So it's, you went to the lump sum contractor and you know, started that new group, which I have to say is like pretty vibrant, like right out of the gate. I have a roofing group that's like nothing going on, but you know, we'll kind of get that going. It was really cool to see that lump sum contractor kind of get some traction like right away and see you kind of do something really positive with, you know, getting banned and then like going and starting up a whole nother thing that's like really cool and interesting. And I think we're all, was it fun? Like starting that group? Have you been thinking about that for a little while?
Yeah, man, you know, it's been on the horizon for a little bit. You know, my background was insurance before being a contractor. So most of my contributions in these groups has been, you know, how to deal with insurance companies, right? And so that's kind of the topics that I talk to people about. And that's I'm not in a position to teach anybody how to be the best roofer, right? And I mean, there's other people that probably could do that. I'm more of the you know, the insurance guy, right? So, and I've talked about it for a while. I had a breakout session at one of the conferences, and it was like standing room only. And the topic that we've been going over, and it's kind of been a hot topic, has been the lump sum thing. And that breaks off into that's kind of the core of how we estimate, and it breaks off into so many different branches of, I mean, they get like next week's videos on what contracts we use and how do we present that contract. There's so many things that we branch off from having that core of being a lump sum contractor. So I was like, well, that's going to be kind of my basis and my core, but I wanted to create a group because this is such a new concept or a revised concept in our industry, it's like I wanted a group to where people could come and talk about what's working, what's not working, and the group be able to decide like what the best standards of practice in this are. So I mean, I made it out the gate day one on the post. I said, I'm never going to delete anybody. I'm never going to, ban anyone. I mean, if you come in there and try to sell a bunch of services, I'm gonna let the group handle you.
Yeah.
If they want to do your services, great. If not, you'll quit posting, right?
Yeah.
I'm not any of that. I don't care about any of that. The only thing I cared about was having a group conscience come in and say, this is what's working for us over here in Montana. This is what's working in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Let's put those things together and let's all make it work together.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell anything. I don't care about making any money off of it. I genuinely just want a group where people can learn how to be better.
Well, you did cause a little stir though on Jessica's post recently, right?
Yeah, there was I don't even remember that, that kind of just happened. Jessica made a post, somebody made a half-assed comment about roofers making money being a joke, and I responded to that guy too. I probably should not do that as much. Man, when you start talking about roofing and contractors and sales guys out here, man, this industry saved my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the Reeds saved my life.
Yeah.
The people that I've met out here saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a beautiful home with beautiful children that go to a great school, and I do cool shit, and it's because of this industry. So
where do you live? Where do you live, Brad?
I live in Mississippi.
What city?
Madison, Mississippi.
Oh, do you? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. No, I hear you. We just had Kim on the show too, and she was talking about roofers in recovery and all the good things going on there and stuff, and it's amazing. I mean, this industry really has transformed my life as well. I mean, I was, from knocking on doors to owning my own company and stuff, it was really incredible that you can actually do that. I mean, with you opening up in multiple states and all that, it's just crazy what this industry can do. So
I get real touchy when people start downing it, or when bashing my guys, I get mad.
Yeah. No, I know. I hear you, man. Well, hey, Bradley, we're going to kind of let you go. And I just kind of want everyone to know though, if you are really thinking about opening up your own roofing company, I really do think you should reach out to Bradley first, at least explore what Hometown has to offer at the very least, because, I started mine from scratch and I probably wouldn't have done a franchise, but, if looking back, I should have, honestly, it probably made my life a hell of a lot easier. And so, but I was too hard headed for that, and maybe, a franchise is not the right thing for someone like that, but someone who's wiser and smarter is you know what, let's just take a system that's already working and do that instead. I think it'd be a very smart thing to do, to reach out to Bradley and
I'll also add to that real quick.
Yeah.
I don't just do the franchising thing. We are about to put out the consulting website to where you can hire me as a consultant too. And there's places where I also may not be a perfect fit for everyone, but if you're a new home builder, I'm probably not the contractor consultant for you. But we definitely, a lot of information like that will be coming out actually on Monday. That rolls out.
Awesome.
Everybody will kind of see that.
Dude, you got to let us do a video of that. I want to do a video of you consulting.
I'm down, man. Let's do it.
I'm also doing some consulting too myself, man. I've been talking. I've already done a couple of kickoffs for a couple companies, roofing companies and stuff, and it's so much fun consulting, and really roofing companies, could use, people use me in the beginning of the year, then bring you in during the summer, and bring someone else in the spring, because the sales guys get tired of hearing from the roofing company owner every week. They want to hear some fresh ideas and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I've been hired here recently. First, everybody's been calling me, right? And it's I've been spending literally 10, 15 hours a week just coaching people over the phone. And it's I can come in and see you, but, it would have to be, I got to get paid for my time kind of thing. So actually the folks that have hired me to come in and just teach their salesmen for a day.
Yeah.
And I'm
cool.
down.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get even Tiger Woods, the best golfer in the world, has somebody standing outside being his coach saying, "Hey, keep your elbow in."
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs somebody just to take an outside look. And that's,
it's so important, man. I even have a business coach that I work with on a regular basis, and I have for a long time. So, I mean, it's so important. So anyways,
Sure.
Brad, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining the show. We will be in touch. And yeah, if you don't mind sharing the stream, let's get the word out there. Let's get, I'm going to be doing this every week at 3:00. So, tune into that and we'll have some more guests. I've got some interesting guests lined up. Is one of my guests for next week. He was like, I need to get like approval from our upper management before I go on the air live. So it's kind of interesting that happens, So, yeah, we will talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Okay, Brad?
Yes, sir. You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, guys, that was Brad. We're going to be right back. Okay. So that is our show for today, guys. At the end of every show, I'm going to deliver what's called my final thought, and my final thought on this show is going to be about uncertainty, and uncertainty in the world today. And we've all experienced so much of that in the last year. And, right now with material prices going up and down, with the material shortages going up and down, like, one day you need a roof and the next day it's like not there. And, also the uncertainty with just our personal lives sometimes, where, we struggle with so many things as far as like, drugs and alcohol addiction and things like that. And so I do want to urge you, if you are having trouble with that, please, reach out to Roofers in Recovery. And, we're going to also kind of say a few thank yous to some of our sponsors. There's one in particular that I really have to thank, and that's Jack Hanks Public Adjuster. Jack Hanks has been one of the early supporters early on. Let's tag him if we can find him. And Jack Hanks was one of our early supporters here for the Weekly Contractor. And, he's if you have like a large loss, he is one of the best guys in the industry to go to. I mean, he is friends with, all the major commercial roofing contractors, and he is, just doing really great things. Follow him on Facebook too, because he's got kind of a funny life. He travels all over the place and does some interesting things. So yeah, thank you, Jack Hanks. And also want to thank, some of our staff. I want to thank Tyler Shadell, Brock Hunter, Gina Moran, Sterling Miller. I want to thank my family, my wife. I'm like delivering an award here. I haven't won any awards, but I feel like I need to thank everybody like I've won an award. So we will see you all next week, because we are going to have some more interesting guests, and we're also going to have some news. We're going to see like how things go. I follow all the roofing news like during the week, and then at the end of the week, we're gonna compile it and sort of deliver you some news. And also, we're going to take more call-ins. We're going to have, another featured guest. I'm not going to reveal now. So we have some content ready for next week, but I want you to tell us what you want to hear. All right. This show is for the industry. It's for you. And let us know what you want to see next week. Have a great weekend, guys.
And as always, like, share.
And as always, like, share.